Welcome back everybody to Pop's Antique Tractors. It's about the week after the Classic Green Reunion Show, and I'm back out at Western Nebraska and moving on to the next project. I'm trying to get this 720 out of the mothballs. I want to take it to Waverly, Nebraska for the Camp Creek Threshing Machine Show there in July, and I wanted to plow with it. So I've got a 3-bottom rollover plow. I think it's an 825 plow that's on it. And I need to get all the stuff moved away and get it started and running. Okay, here's a little bit better vantage point of it. I've plowed with this before on this tractor. I had run out of hydraulic lift, so I checked and the oil was really low, and since it's been sitting here a while, I kind of followed the spots on the floor to see what's leaking, and back underneath there, underneath the tractor, there's some leakage, and I think it's the hydraulic pump that runs off the flywheel side of the tractor. And so I'm gonna take that out and put in probably new O-rings and gaskets and see if I can get that from leaking. And while I'm at it, I'm going to change the engine oil and the hydraulic oil, and let's see, and the oil in the clutch, the PTO clutch. I've got that drained out, got to put that in new. Hopefully get this running. And it didn't want to start, the little starting motor didn't want to start very well, so I took the flywheel shield off. Oh, I checked the power steering fluid too. That seems to be good. And surprisingly, nothing leaks up front here, so that's a plus. But I took the flywheel guard off to look into the clutch of the pony motor and found out that the mice had been living in there. So I'm gonna have to clean that out. You can see back in there, there's some mice nests in there. So hopefully that's my problem with it not wanting to start very well. I'll blow that all out or vacuum it out and get that cleaned up, get all new fluids in it, and fix the hydraulic pump. That hydraulic pump is down underneath here, and it goes up underneath. That's just the outside shifting gate for that, but the hydraulic pump's up underneath there, right underneath the belly. So I'm going to attempt to take that out. If I get it out, I'll continue this video and see what I can do to fix the leaks. I wanted to show you the weights that I'm painting up to put on the front. I had a little problem when I did this before, that just didn't have enough ballast on the front to pull the plow out of the ground. So I've got a set of weights that I've painted up, and I'm going to install those on the front. So I'll show you those in a bit. The 70 standard with adjustable front and 3-point on the back with my rollover plow, 3-bottom rollover plow. I did a little short on here a few days ago and got a lot of likes on that, so we're going to take that to the show and do some fun with that. And then over here is a Yakima plow with its hitch, and I've got that mounted up, and I'm still trying to find a couple of arms for it to go to the tractor, and I'm going to try to mount that on that 70 standard with a 3-point hitch. But yeah, I picked that plow up years ago. Didn't really know what it was for, or it just kind of intrigued me that it had different mounts on the front. And then I ran across this hitch that I thought went to it at another sale probably. And now I'm at the point where I'm getting it all put together and maybe can plow with it. So going back inside, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the oil slinger behind the flywheel. See if I can get that oil quit squirting out there. So I'm back working on the 720. Got the 70 done working, and so I need to work on the hydraulic pump, the live hydraulic pump for the hydraulics underneath the belly of it, below the flywheel, and I'll just show you where that's at. So it's down underneath. There's the oil filter for the engine and the oil pump for the engine, and then back in this little box there's a hydraulic pump, and it leaks just a little bit right underneath there. So I've got the two packings that go between the slabs of the pump, and so I got to take out, there's 3 long bolts up in there, and then there's probably 6 shorter ones, 6 or a couple medium ones, and then a couple short ones. And I gotta unhook the lines back there too. So here are the parts from the hydraulic oil pump underneath the 720, and I got them all cleaned up, kind of filed the face of these to get any burrs off, and then I put the square packing in each side with some grease to hold them in there. And this has got the new O-rings down in here where the pipes go, and you got to make sure there's a little fiber washer down in the bottom of each one of these holes where the shaft of the pumps go, or the shafts of the pump go, and so it centers the shaft in there and doesn't grind around on the ends. So you got to make sure those are in there. And then I'm just going to go back underneath there and piece it back together. The rest of the pump is still underneath the tractor. I didn't take the rest of it out. The reason so is that it has that sliding gear on the outside where it engages into the timing gear, and I didn't want to pull that out and try to lose some of the washers and springs and sprocket that's on the end of that. So I just left that all in the housing and just took the pieces out that I needed to get to these packings here and on the pump housing. I think that's what my problem is. The only other thing that I haven't changed will be the seal that goes into the timing area where the sliding gear is that engages and disengages the pump. But I don't think that would leak outside. It might trade fluid between the hydraulic system, engine crankcase, so I don't think it's that big a deal. But anyway, I'm going to put this together and see if I can stop the leak seeping around the pump itself. So I got the pump put back together underneath there, and it seems to be dry and holding. So got that accomplished, and I step back and look at the tractor, and I don't know, realized maybe the plow needed to get a coat of paint. So I got the tractor over here sitting without the plow, because I got the plow over here all sandblasted, ready to paint. So we're going to give that an update on its paint job. Kind of polished up the mole bars so that they'll scour when I go to plow at the plow show. So I'm ready to put on the primer now. Got a few of the extra parts. I took the coulters all apart. I'm going to paint those black. There was a couple of them that didn't want to grease, and so I just decided to take them off, and that way I could paint better inside the brackets where the coulters go. So I'm ready to paint now, so I'll go get started and get that done. So here's my tractors all loaded up, ready to go to the show. Gonna try some plowing. I got the rollover plow all painted up and got the tractors polished a bit. I got some other spare plows. I wanted to mention one thing about that hydraulic pump underneath the belly. I just took the bolts out of it and split the pump into pieces and left the gear and the main shaft in the tractor. So, and it was just enough room to get the pieces out. You got to be careful, that slave shaft on the bottom end of the pump wants to come out with the outside housing, and you have to get a pair of pliers or something in there and push that shaft back in there. But once you get it back in there, you can pull that outside part of that pump off, and then you can take out the next middle piece that runs with the gears, and you can put all the packings back in it and put it all back together without having to take it out of the tractor. I wasn't sure about, there's some washers and springs on that engagement gear on the hydraulic pump, and I wasn't sure I wanted to take that all out. I didn't want to have to take the flywheel and the timing cover and everything off, so I tried to take the pump apart underneath, and it did work. It's pretty close, but it does work. So if you have a leaking pump, that's one way to fix it. So I guess I'll see you at the show, and this is at the Waverly, Nebraska, the Camp Creek Threshing Show, the third weekend in July. So it's coming up. So we'll see you down the road.